In the world of the young and the restless, Tuesday, March 4 brought a whirlwind of tense moments, heated exchanges, and intriguing suspicions surrounding Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, and Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, who continued to grapple with their mysterious captivity. As they struggle to piece together the identity of their captor, the stakes have never been higher, and suspicions within the Newman and Abbott families are reaching a boiling point. At the abandoned psychiatric hospital, Sharon and Phyllis have little to do except bicker about their situation. Sharon, ever the optimist, tries to make sense of the clues around them, hoping that their captor's identity will reveal itself through careful investigation. She pores over books, trying to find a link to their past that could help them understand who could be behind this, but Phyllis is less convinced. The dynamic between the two women is palpable, with Phyllis dismissing Sharon's efforts as futile and a waste of time. However, Sharon, ever persistent, remains determined to uncover the truth, clinging to the idea that they will somehow escape. In their discussion, Phyllis presents a controversial theory: could the kidnapper be someone from the Newman family? Phyllis's mind races to Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, believing that he may be the one behind the abduction. After all, he's been known to act impulsively and could harbor a deep resentment toward Phyllis and Sharon. This suggestion doesn't sit well with Sharon, who argues that Nick wouldn't go as far as to harm them, much less put them in this twisted situation. She counters that the kidnapper seems to have a more personal motive, one that might be rooted in their shared history. Could it be a former doctor or patient from the psychiatric hospital? Sharon suggests they might be dealing with someone with ties to their past, someone who wants them to work through unresolved issues. Phyllis, however, is convinced that the kidnapper is more about power than resolution. She suggests that their captor may be someone seeking revenge, possibly a relative. Sharon reluctantly entertains the idea that the kidnapper could be one of their own children. Phyllis jumps at the suggestion, briefly contemplating whether Daniel Romalotti Jr., Michael Graziati, or Summer Newman, Allison Lanier, might be responsible. Sharon, however, quickly shoots down the idea, refusing to believe that her daughter could be behind such a scheme. Phyllis, undeterred, latches onto another idea: what if it's Nick? But even this theory doesn't sit well with Sharon, who insists that Nick wouldn't put them through such a harrowing ordeal. As Phyllis and Sharon continue to discuss potential suspects, the tension between them grows. Their situation is dire, but their differing perspectives on who might be responsible only add to the strain. Phyllis, feeling more desperate by the minute, nearly smashes the window in frustration, wanting to scream for help and alert the outside world to their predicament. Sharon, however, quickly stops her, warning that doing so could provoke their captor further and risk even worse consequences. Sharon's reasoning, while pragmatic, only fuels Phyllis's frustration, as she becomes more determined to escape and find a way out of the situation. Despite their differences, it's clear that both women are desperate for answers and long for a way to get back to their loved ones. Meanwhile, back in Genoa City, the search for Phyllis and Sharon intensifies. Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, and Daniel, growing more concerned by the minute, begin to consider the possibility that something more sinister is afoot. Daniel expresses his disbelief that Phyllis would ever go on a girls' trip with Sharon without informing anyone, and both he and Billy start to entertain the possibility that Phyllis and Sharon have been kidnapped. This theory sets them on a path to uncovering the truth, though they are still in the dark about who might be behind it. At Crimson Lights, Nick and Summer are also grappling with the mystery. Nick, though deeply worried about his mother and Sharon, tries to remain hopeful, even as he admits that the chances of them being in serious trouble are high. He's visibly troubled by the lack of any clues and the fact that Sharon didn't check into any spas or take any flights to Sedona, as was previously suspected. The situation becomes even more complicated when Chance Chancellor, Connor Floyd, reveals that Sharon's car has been found in the Cassidy First parking lot, and Phyllis's car is still at the athletic club with no indication that she took any sort of transportation to the airport. Chance, who has been diligently working on the investigation, provides further updates to Nick, Summer, Daniel, and Billy, urging them to hand over the burner phone numbers that Phyllis and Sharon have been using. It becomes increasingly clear that this is no ordinary case of two women going missing. It's an orchestrated kidnapping, and Chance is determined to get to the bottom of it. Summer, though deeply affected by the situation, begins to spin her own theories, but Daniel, ever the realist, quickly points out that this is starting to look like an official investigation. The gravity of the situation is beginning to hit them all, and no one knows where the investigation will lead. Back at the psychiatric facility, the captor continues to toy with Sharon and Phyllis, returning with a new riddle that only adds to their sense of disorientation. The voice behind the door challenges them with a cryptic question: what's worth everything and costs nothing? It's a riddle that leaves them both perplexed, and it's clear that their captor is enjoying this mind game. The message is more than just a puzzle, it's a psychological game designed to make them second-guess everything they know. The captor's refusal to reveal any details about their identity or motives only adds to the sense of helplessness and confusion that Phyllis and Sharon are experiencing. The two women are left to wrestle with the question, knowing that the answer may hold the key to their escape. As the days go on, the tension continues to build. Sharon and Phyllis's time in captivity is far from over, and with each passing moment, their frustrations mount. Whether it's the cryptic messages, the shifting suspicions, or the deepening mysteries surrounding the identity of their captor, The Young and the Restless continues to keep viewers on the edge of their seats. As more twists and turns unfold, it seems that the truth will be anything but straightforward, and the stakes will only grow higher as the investigation progresses. In Genoa City, the search for answers is just beginning, and the players involved are starting to realize just how far-reaching this conspiracy may be. Could the answers lie closer to home than anyone expects, or will Phyllis and Sharon's captor prove to be someone they never imagined? Only time will tell.